Hi, I'm Nick Smith, and I'm the owner of Dura-Guard Paver Sealing. First and foremost, let me please thank you for choosing our company and trusting us with your brick paver cleaning and sealing project. We're a small, local, family-owned and operated business, and every single one of our customers is so important to us, and I really appreciate you going with our company. I really encourage you to watch this video in its full length. Just because our crew has left your home doesn't mean the project's complete yet. This is where you as a homeowner come into play and make sure that you're able to take care of your surface now that we're gone to prolong the life of the sealer and keep your project looking as good as it does right now. I'm sure one of the many reasons you chose to hire our company was because of the high-end products and the great sealants that we use. One of the major benefits of the sealer that we use is it's manufactured right here in Florida, designed for Florida's climate. One of the big things that we deal with here in Florida, if you've been living here for more than a year, you know, these rains, they come and they go, unexpected. It might be bright and sunny out, and all of a sudden we got a sudden downpour. That's Florida for you. That was taken into consideration when these sealants were designed. The sealer we use is typically rainproof after about a 30-minute time period. Usually, it takes our guys about 30 minutes to clean up the job site, clean out our pumps, talk to you as the customer, shake hands, make sure everything looks great and is up to your expectations. By that time, and by the time my guys drive off, usually you're in the clear if we were to have a really bad rainstorm. So that's one of the major benefits of using the sealant that we use. So if you experienced a rain shower after we left, you should be in the clear, but feel free to give our office a call and just let us know. Now keep in mind, in most cases, you're given a 3-year warranty. So if you have any of these issues, you let us know. We'll note it in our schedule. We'll note it in our calendar. And we can always take that into consideration if, for some reason down the road, you end up running into some issues. Now, although we take many steps and a lot of experience that we have working with our tools every single day to keep as much of the contaminants, dirt, mold, mildew, and sand out of the pool areas if we're working on a pool deck for you, we even go the extra step to run a pool vacuum in there. Even though we take all these different steps and precautions, there is a chance, and it can very well happen, and a lot of factors will contribute to that, like the angle of your pool deck or the slope, if you have some low-lying areas, or in a situation where you just got a lot of mold and mildew close to the edge of the coping, it's very possible that some of those contaminants can find their way into the pool. Although we do take a lot of steps, if you do find yourself in that situation, again, your pool systems and your pumps and your filters, they're designed to filter those things out. You should expect about 24 hours after we leave, let your pool run its normal cycle, and after that 24-hour period of that system and your pumps running their normal cycle, you should be doing your weekly clean out about a day after we leave. So keep that in mind after we leave. If you guys have some sand that might have found its way into the pool that maybe our vacuum systems didn't completely take out, business as usual. Don't worry about it. Your pumps and your filters, they're designed for that. Now let's talk about the curing process. You've got about a 72 to 96 hour curing period. Now during this 72 to 96 hours, there's going to be a lot of changes on your surface. Some areas might dry quicker than others. Some areas might look better than others. It might even look blotchy at some points. And I'm going to explain to you why this happens. We use a 2-part sealer. It's 2 parts, right? You know, 1 part water, 1 part urethane. What's going to happen is that water in the sealant, and that's just how the sealer is designed, that water is going to evaporate. That's why some areas, especially areas, let's say a pool deck, for example, if you have your lanai portion that's undercover, that might look better during that curing process than maybe an area exposed to the sun. And the reason for that, that water in the exposed area evaporates quicker than the water that evaporated underneath the lanai area. What's left, you want that water to evaporate. What's left behind is the urethane. That urethane takes about that 72 to 96 hour period before it fully hardens and catalyzes and crystallizes. And that's when you get all your beneficial properties, the joint sand stabilization, the nicer depth of color, the sheen and the shine, and just that real nice, rich, wet look that everybody's going after. Now keep in mind, during this curing process, there's a few different brackets of things that you need to be doing. Keep off of it for the first 4 hours. the area is not open to foot traffic for the first 4 hours. Because what happens if you walk on it, you're going to leave footprints, okay? So unless it's an absolute, you have no other way of getting out of your house and your house caught on fire and you got to run out the back door and run over the pavers, make sure you're wearing clean shoes when you do it, and take your shoes off before you walk back in the house, because that sealer, if it's stuck to the bottom of your shoes, it's going to get on your, if you got hardwood or carpet flooring, it's going to leave footprints inside your home. So if you have to walk across it, take your shoes off at the threshold. Don't walk in your home with wet sealant on your shoes. You'll be very unhappy. Also, after that 4-hour period of foot traffic, your next job is to, if you're on a pool deck or a patio, or even if you have some light furniture that you use for your entryway, that cannot be replaced for the first 24 hours, okay? Now that is not inclusive of carpets or area rugs, okay? So if you have a small carpet at your front door entryway, for example, you do not want to put that back for at least the first 24 hours. I always encourage my customers to wait the full 72, because what could happen is you do run the risk of messing up the curing process. So unless it's just absolutely killing you and it's driving you nuts that you don't have a carpet there, try not to put it back if you don't have to. So that's the first 24 hours. Again, after 72 hours for driveway areas, that's the point where you would be able to drive your vehicle back on there. So when we work on driveways, we're going to tape it off. We leave nice bright green tape, just like my shirt, just like my walls, just like our trucks. We put that bright green tape up there to keep people from driving off of it. Do not take that tape down, because all it takes is the mailman or one of your neighbors to back up into your driveway, or one of your neighbors walking across the sidewalk and their dog stepping in mud gets on your pavers. If you take that down, you're really going to run the risk of damaging the work that you just paid for. Now keep in mind, after the 72 to 96 hour curing period, we'd like to give our customers the most for their money. We saturate, and if you watched our process, you saw it yourself, but we put a lot of sealer down on those brick pavers, which is a good thing, because that's gonna give you a better quality job. It's gonna last longer, it's gonna look better, and it's gonna give you all the beneficial properties that you're looking for. So part of soaking down those pavers with our 3-coat sealant process, like I said, we put a lot of sealer down. It could take a little bit longer than that 72 to 96 hour curing process to fully cure. The best way you know that is if you step on it and it's still a little bit sticky and tacky, just give it another day. I promise you it's not gonna stay sticky forever. Even glue won't stay sticky forever. So just let it run its process. And the reason I say that is because that's a common question that we run into. Maybe out of every 75 jobs we do, we will get a phone call from a customer. A lot of times it's the jobs that have been previously sealed, or really dense pavers with a high concrete content. That sealer just takes a little bit longer to fully soak in. So if it's still a little sticky after the 72-hour period, just give it another hot Florida afternoon and you'll be good to go. Another common instance that we run into that kind of catches our homeowners off guard once our project's completed is shark grip. Especially when customers use extra shark grip or go with that option, that non-slip additive. Shark grip is only designed to maybe take about 50% of what we actually put down. For example, if we put 4 pounds worth of shark grip down on your surface, only about 2 pounds is expected to actually remain when it's all said and done. The reason for that is your porous surface, whether it's brick pavers or travertine, slate, shell lock, cobblestone, natural stone, it's only going to absorb, like I said, about half of what we put down, because those pores are only going to soak in what they're going to soak in, and they're going to purge out and reject the rest. So what that could look like is over the course of even up to a month, this process can take place, and you might notice that it could be a little gritty, or some of it might be able to like stick to your hands or be able to be swept off. And what it'll look like is it might look like baby powder in some areas that's just kind of loose, perfectly normal. It might look like sand even that might be built up, also perfectly normal. If you do see that happening, don't freak out. Take a garden hose after about a month, just rinse it off. You can sweep it. It's designed to do that. So if you are running into an issue and it continues to happen, again, give our office a call and we can talk you through whatever the issues might be. Now, please listen, a very, very important part of this video. Let's talk about weeds and mold. It was mentioned on our website before you called us. It was mentioned on your contract. It was mentioned in the initial email that we sent to you that we attached your contract to. It is on page 2 of your contract. It is on our warranty. It is on your confirmation email. It is on the receipt that you signed, and now it's made its way to this video. Weeds and mold are not and cannot ever be covered under a warranty. We don't guarantee it. Our competitors don't guarantee it. Even Roundup doesn't guarantee that weeds will not return. What I can do is offer you a couple of options. Now, we have maintenance options, and I even have a do-it-yourself remedy that'll cost you less than $5. If you run into these issues, whether it's 6 months from now or 3 years from now, anytime that you run into weeds or mold, and not just on your brick pavers or travertine, but anywhere, even in your garden, these remedies are going to work for you. Now, let's talk about why you could see weeds or mold return in any amount of time. It could happen a month from now or 3 months from now, or it could never return. A very common misconception that a lot of people get confused is sealing your pavers does not prevent weeds or mold from returning. It's a very, very common misconception, but that's why we try and notify you as many times as we possibly can. And that's why this is going to be the biggest part of this video, just because we don't want you to feel like you're being tricked or duped in any way, because you haven't been. Every time you cut the grass, or your neighbor cuts the grass, or someone 10 miles away cuts the grass, millions and millions and millions of microscopic seeds go flying into the air. Depending on if you got a low or high pressure system, those seeds can travel hundreds of miles, not just from wind and the weather, but bird droppings. When birds eat seeds from plants and they take a poop on your driveway, those seeds, they can actually take root from the top of your paver and from the top of that joint sand, and actually take root and begin to grow and flourish. That's why no one can guarantee weeds won't return for any length of time. And in science, this process is called germination. And that's how the entire earth got its green landscape. It's unavoidable. If you run into a situation of weeds, let me tell you a $5 remedy that, like I said, you can use it anywhere. Go to the dollar store or Walmart, Publix, anywhere that sells groceries. You get a 1 gallon jug of just your white cooking vinegar, and take a cup of salt. Mix the vinegar and the salt, and all you got to shake it up real good and pour it directly on the weeds. It's not going to harm the sealer. It's not going to harm the job. Not going to harm your pavers or your travertine surfaces. It's going to harm the weeds though, because the salt in the vinegar is going to choke those weeds out and kill them off. And that's actually going to work better than any over-the-counter product that you can get, Roundup or Weed Be Gone. It's going to give you much better results, very affordably too, to combat any of those weeds issues. Now, if you run into an issue with mold, a very simple, easy, cheap DIY method with that: take your regular Clorox bleach, mix it 50-50 ratio with water, and just pour it directly on any areas that might have that mold growth that comes back. Now, if that's not something that you want to do yourself, that's perfectly fine. We have awesome maintenance program packages that'll actually really keep your pavers looking wonderful indefinitely if you stay up on the proper maintenance. With 2 options, right? Option 1 is we come out annually and apply our weed and mold inhibitor product. Again, this is a chemical just like we used initially when we did your cleaning and preparation. Once the job was initially done, we would come out annually, apply this product, and that'll kill off any of the microscopic mold spores or any of the seeds for weeds that might have grown back. Option 2, and a lot of our customers choose to do this every other year in between the weed and mold application, and then the following year they would do option 2. Option 2 is where we apply our weed and mold inhibitor, do a high pressure cleaning, touch up of any of the sand joints that may have washed out, because keep in mind, you are going to have some sand wash out over the course of your 3-year warranty. So we'll touch up any of those sand joints that may have washed out, and then we'll apply one real good heavy coat of sealant. Now the prices for these options obviously are going to be dependent on your individual surface and your individual project. So if you have any questions or you'd like to schedule your future annual maintenance packages, please give our office a call or reply to this email that this video was sent to you in, and we can give you individual pricing for both options 1 and 2 so you can have those for your record, or we can even get you scheduled today because it's very, very easy to forget about a year from now. Another common issue that you could run into is ants. Ants are going to do what they have done for hundreds of millions of years. The pressure washing company that came out and did your pavers isn't going to change that, unfortunately. When we work on your surface, we use a lot of different equipment and it vibrates the ground that we're working with, right? So ant tunnels, some of them can go up to 50 feet away from the initial ant pile. So it's not abnormal to have an ant pile on one side of your property and tunnels stretch out to the other side of your property. That being said, when we're doing our job and we're doing our work, if we disrupt those ant piles from below the surface, you will know usually by the next day. If that happens by the next day, give our office a call and we can come out there and we can get it squared away for you. But if it happens later on, just make sure you use just whatever you would use to kill the ants anywhere in your grass. You can go to Walmart, the dollar store, even Publix or your local grocery stores. They do have limited ant supply, a supply of ant control products. All you gotta do is just pour it on there. The ants will eat it, they'll poison themselves, or actually kill off the whole colony. So if you do run into those issues, like I said, within 24 hours after your project was done, if you're seeing these ant piles pop up, let us know immediately. But later on, if you see it happening, that's how you remedy that. Again, thank you so much for supporting your local, veteran, owned and operated small business. Like I said, every single one of our customers is so important and valuable to us. Please respond to this email and let us know how your experience was, whether it was good or bad, or if there's something that you think we can improve on so we can offer a better finished product for every single one of our customers. As the owner, I need to hear those feedbacks and responses from our consumers. So please let us know how we did. And of course, if you have any questions, give us a call. You can reach our main office line at 727-218-4221. Or for our East Coast branch, you can give us a call at 321-339-4080. And either myself or a member of my staff will be on standby to answer your calls and any questions that you might have. Again, thanks and have a wonderful day.